Hello there guys, this is the Storyteller and today we are gonna take some time and review the things that are being said about Captain Marvel. And as always, welcome to the Storyteller. The problem is not that there is a woman becoming a superhero. Women superheroes have existed for a long time, but the problem is that all these women don't want to cooperate with men. They want to become first. Now this story we know the fact that the story of Captain Marvel started in 50s or 60s, very much later than the male superheroes. But these people want to completely abolish it and say that, oh, Captain Marvel was first. She was from the 90s. No, she was not from the 90s. She was much later. She came much later in the comic book universe. Let's see some review sites who are shilling for this movie, even though most people are telling that this movie is at best 50%. 50 out of 100. Like 5 out of 10. 2.5 out of 5. This is a very average movie. But, the shill sites, they just can't leave it alone. Let's see some of the shill sites putting on their crap. First off, let's go to the Independent. Captain Marvel exclusive. Brie Larson hopes new film will inspire more women to become pilots. See, everything about this movie is about inspiring women to become big and this and that, and always say mean things to men. This is what you are inspiring them to become. Mean, self-righteous, smug pilots. Okay, let's see. Brie Larson hopes that her new film, Captain Marvel, can help inspire more women to become pilots. The superhero origin story sees the actor as U.S. Air Force fighter pilot who, through mysterious circumstances, becomes imbued with special powers. In both the US and the UK, only 4% of airline pilots are women. You're making an article about movie, and you are talking about 4% of airline pilots as women. Seriously, this is what this movie is all about. This preach agenda in every way possible. Every fucking way possible. British Airways, for example, will hold a special event on International Women's Day. Yes, exactly. You hold everything on Women's Day, but when do you even say anything about the Men's Day? Nowhere. I've seen many times. Nobody gives any offers on Men's Day. Nobody does anything. And this time, I saw nobody even speak about Men's Day. Everybody cheered the toilet day. The toilet day that comes on the Men's Day. That's your grade, man. This is where you are crashing your life at. And here, the bozo talks again. I think it goes back to that very simple phrase of you can be what you can't see. Larson said, and I think the feeling of the Air Force is so clear in this movie too. I really do hope that it inspires girls and women. That if that's the path that they want to take, that they know that it's available to them. Okay, it's available to them. It has been available for the last five or six decades. All these have been available. But the thing is, you want to force women to do it. You don't want equality. You want forced equality. And here is another shill site. Rolling Stone.com. Captain Marvel review. Brie Larson takes on cosmic villains, sexist trolls, and wins. Sexist trolls. Get it? Sexist trolls? You are sexist trolls. As the first woman-led superhero. Oh my God! No, it's not the first lead. Elektra was the first lead. Seriously, you people are idiots. Captain Marvel touches down at the multiplex with a lot of sexist monkeys on its back. Sexist monkeys. This guy, Chuck Zlotnick, he directly calls you a sexist monkey if you give a bad review to this movie. Rotten Tomatoes, which is already the wokest and shittiest site, had to ban trolls from its website who were hell-bent on review bombing. They just clicked that not want to see button. They went to the want to see button and said that they didn't want to see. That's their right. And you as an artist should take that to your pride and gulp it down, but you can't. Why? Because you're not artists. You are propagandists. These people are nothing but propagandists. He continues that incels are incensed that Brie Larson, the Oscar winner who plays her, Oscar winner in a movie where she sits around for 2 hours. That's what she really does in that movie. And he also again calls you an incel. Everybody who talks about Captain Marvel in a negative way is an incel to these people, has been publicly campaigning for more inclusion in these epics. Inclusion, yeah, I saw the inclusion. She put up a photo of a lot of women with herself on her page. Guess who were this inclusive crowd? All of white women. That was her inclusive crowd. All of white women who were cheering Captain Marvel. And many reviewers, many people have continuously said that Marvel and all of these other comic book places are filled with white feminists. White feminists, not white feminists, white feminism. It's infested with white feminism. And now that the movie is opening, expect the white male virgin contingent to go ballistic. A white girl power pulses through every frame, not to mention humor, heart, and the thrill that comes from watching a genuine game changer. Wonder Woman of 2017. I already have given you my review of Wonder Woman, and it's really horrible to see such huge amount of plot holes in movies, and nobody's talking about it. I've given you that review. Please check it out. Wonder Woman of 2017 epic from DC Comics may have thrown the first punch for comic book movie equality among the sexes, but Captain Marvel should have its detractors on the ropes. Set in mid-90s and feeling like it was made in a time before Iron Man and other Avengers even ever suited up. Oh man. Tim Burton made a movie about Batman in 80s. Okay, in 88, 89, I think. So, but these people never want to acknowledge anything about anybody. This superhero film proudly waves a retro flag, but everything in its DNA from representation. Everything in its DNA from representation to its notions of empowerment. Where is our moment right now? Okay. Representation, empowerment. It means this is a very, very woke site. Rolling Stone is the wokest site now who is preaching this empowerment, representation, and every kind of other story. Of course, there are people in line like Mary Sue and others. This is just such a big cringe. They are completely going down on their knees to shill for this movie. And here are some Twitter clips. This one Twitter clip says, before the Avengers, there was Captain Marvel. No, Captain Marvel came very late in the Avengers scenario. That's the reality. Every time I think Marvel couldn't do better, it outdoes itself. Many people are telling everywhere that it's actually inferior to the other Marvel movies. However, I don't like MCU. It's so stupid. There are lots of plot holes. I can't digest that stuff. It was captivating. The plot was fresh and compelling, and it fits nicely into the Marvel universe. 10 by 10 must watch. Oh, of course, it's 10 by 10 from you. You are a jackass. That's why. And here is the Daily Beast. The first female-led Marvel superhero movie has been targeted by men's rights activists and incels. Again, men's rights activists and incels. The gamer gate crowd since the very beginning. Okay, are you really sure that we don't watch your movie? Okay, we won't. We will just make some YouTube videos and make money of it. That's correct. And here's Boss Logic. Boss Logic says, out of curiosity, the people who are not seeing Captain Marvel, are you guys not seeing Avengers Endgame? No. The thing is, people will watch Captain Marvel on a pirated DVD. That's what they'll do. Or they'll just watch it when it's sent to the channels. They won't go to movies because we are completely avoiding this shit show. If you look at Twitter, every feminist in the whole world is cheering Captain Marvel. There is no way that you can say anything against this film. I've seen a lot of people talking about it, and the consensus is that it is very, very average movie. It's not as good as the others. Here's one from Entertainment Weekly by Nick Romano. The first wave of Captain Marvel reviews are in, though not all of them are as bright and glowing as the cosmically supercharged Carol Danvers. While press came out of the first screenings for the Brie Larson starring superhero flick with high praise, the full-length deep dives from critics are much more mixed. Like I said, it has very, very mixed reviews. Its special effects are not that great. Its fighting sequences are, in the first half there are some, and in the second half it's just not captivating enough. The choreography is bad, as I've been told. I haven't watched the movie because I'm not gonna watch this racist, sexist woman's movie. And this I quote, Captain Marvel is not bad, is the unthrilling point I've been circling here, but not bad is better than where we are coming from. EW's Jared Frank writes, IndieWire's David Ehrlich calls it a massively disappointing introduction to Carol Danvers. Of course it is disappointing because this version of Carol Danvers is made by Kelly Sue DeConnick, who is a crazy red-headed feminazi. Seriously, nobody likes her in the comic book business. While others like the Los Angeles Times, Kenneth Turand, and Nerdist Rosie Knight describe how Larson absolutely nails the character. Los Angeles Times and Nerdist has already been shelling for quite some time, as I have seen. It shells for most of the comic book items. In a fun, fresh take on superhero movie. Yes, of course, it's so fun for you. In Captain Marvel set in 1990s, before the events of the first Iron Man, Carol Danvers, our titular heroine who initially goes by Verse, is serving in the Elite Cree military strike team known as Star Force when she crash lands on Earth. She's a great pilot. That's why she crash lands on Earth. Learning the Kree's mortal enemies, the shape-shifting Skrulls, have secretly infiltrated the planet. She now fights to stop their plans. Rotten Tomatoes changed. Here's a big reveal from Rotten Tomatoes, being a shell site. Rotten Tomatoes changed its audience score functionality after the headlines came out individuals bombarding the Captain Marvel page with negative comments and reviews before even seeing the movie. Not unlike, no, they were not giving reviews, they were just saying they did not want to watch that movie. That's what happened. Not unlike what some other people did with Star Wars The Last Jedi. But despite these efforts, which RT considered something sometimes bordering on trolling, critical favor for the first solo female-fronted installment from Disney's Marvel Studios seemed intact. Of course, all these critics are woke as fuck. Even now, the same reviewers commenting on the unimaginative plotting and the obvious crude and transparent film conclude it's also quite enjoyable and evocative most of the time. Read the first reviews out in theaters described below. Okay, I'll try to. Darren French, Entertainment Weekly. Captain Marvel is all over the place. It's all over the place. Careening from far-flung laser-spraying cosmos to the car-crashing streets of 90s Los Angeles, this latest Marvel Studios expansion pack stars Oscar-winning Brie Larson as an amnesiac. Amnesiac. She's haunted by memories of Annette Bening, as all the best humans are. So the main character doesn't know who she is, and the movie around her has a similar problem. Captain Marvel movie around her is a similar problem that who she is. Captain Marvel only figures itself out toward the end when a couple twists. I won't spoil sharpen the spanning saga into a motley crew errand of mercy. Yes, you have to be merciful for Miss Larson. Owen Glitterman from Variety Verse is pulled into the drama of questioning the core of who she is, and that's where Larson performance takes rings. Verse is her name in this movie. Verse was taught one thing to fight this way for these people, for this cause. She needs to open herself up to new mode, and the film uses that journey as an analog of her existence as a female superhero. Why they have an analog of her existence as a female superhero? What does her gender have to do with this whole story? Everything she's been told is wrong. Can she wake up from the oppressive, patriarchal mindset of conventions that blind her? Captain Marvel is only the second major Hollywood movie to have a female superhero at its center, but it's a savvier and more high-flying fantasy than Wonder Woman. Of course, Wonder Woman was a little serious about its things. I counted its cliches, but it was a little bit serious because it was written by some serious people. Let's continue on this. Because it's the origin story as head game, Larson's verse is like someone trapped in a matrix. She has to shake off the dream of who she is to locate the superwoman she could be, and that makes for a rouser of a journey. Todd McCarthy from Hollywood Reporter says, the picture is not dumb, exactly, just mundane. Marked by unimaginative plotting, cut-rate villains, a bland visual style, and a lack of elan in every department. Or put it this way, what Black Panther did for black representation in the superhero realm is not done for women in Captain Marvel. And if it came down to one-on-one between rival franchise Uber Warriors, Wonder Woman, and Captain Marvel, there is no doubt who would inspire the heavy betting. Of course, Wonder Woman would, but like I said, all these superhero films are a huge plot hole depository. April Wolf says, Anna Boden and Van Fleck's take on the Carol Danvers origin story Jackson's subtly to in its messaging of female empowerment and anti-imperialism to varying degrees of success. At times, the film has all the makings of a wildly effective Nike commercial. Night commercial, the woke commercial. You know the kind. Girls falling down and getting up again with standing jeers and taunts until you're weeping on your couch. But the two directors working from a script they co-wrote with Geneva Robertson Dworak. Of course, there are two women who are making this and with one guy. Of course, he has to be woke. He has to be woke feminist. Has seemingly taken a tip from all that surrounds them in 2019 that renders subtlety to obsolete and based on some well-worn sexist tropes with stories that scream, I guess you did not hear us when we said we don't want to smash. Okay, we got it. You are the idiots, April Wolf. I got it. We won't be watching this trash fire anymore. David Ehrlich from IndieWire says, as generic and retrograde as Black Panther was specific and revolutionary, Black Panther also has problems, really. Captain Marvel is a frustrating disappointment at a time when every inclusive blockbuster is fought over as though it could be the decisive battle in our never-ending culture wars. This disappointment is only deepened by the fact that the film was directed by the talented indie twosome of Anna Boden and Brian Fleck, whose previous work, Sugar, Half Nelson, and Mississippi Grind being the highlights, is charged with the nerve and humanity that's missing here. Of course, those were actually Half Nelson, Sugar, and Mississippi Grind. These are actually art films. Art films and superhero films are very different. Their dynamics are very different. The reason I call superhero movies to have a huge plot hole problem is because I am a little bit of art movie friendly guy. If not for some grounded character work towards the end of the story, their contributions to this 152 million behemoth would seem totally anonymous. A lot of people go on to give it good sides and bad sides, but at the end of the whole thing, it is just another movie with a very average actress who's being actually overshadowed by her other co-stars. So it's up to you that if you want to watch this movie, but I really wouldn't. After all that's been said and done, I don't want to give anything to anybody who thinks that I am an incel, sexist or whatever. I just don't want this garbage to be seen by my eyes. This is the Storyteller. Next time we will have more cringe, more reviews. Hit the like and subscribe button, comment if you would, and let me know if you want any more movies to be reviewed, and I can give you some plot holes of every movie